Hey, so today I'm going to be working on a gouache painting. I'm going to be making over this old watercolor painting. I kind of liked where it was going, but at the same time I couldn't really see where else it could go. And I don't have any painter's tape with me. I couldn't find it, so I just had to use it on top of like another painting of mine. I do have more tape outside somewhere, but it's been out there for so long that's kind of just been ruined by the weather and all that. But anyways, this is my second time making a painting in gouache. For this painting, I'm going to be making something similar to the art of Ivan Seal. There's just this weird feeling I get from his art that I really love, and if I could buy one of his paintings one day, I definitely would. The things that really stand out to me in his style are his soft, simple backgrounds. It's like if you're in a void or in a hazy day, or maybe in like some backroom vibes. And the subjects he paints, they kind of look familiar. Sometimes they really do, but other times they're kind of mixed with something else that makes you question like what it is. Something else is going to be his brush strokes. I feel like I don't know how he paints, but it looks like he has like a lot of different paints on it when he paints, but I don't really know how to paint like that. He also uses oils to make his paintings, and I think gouache is like a decent alternative. Acrylics dry really fast, and once they're dried you can't reactivate it, but with gouache I'm able to make things more wet, and I can also get things to reactivate, which will make things blend a little more, so hopefully that'll work. Going into this, I wanted to make some more abstract shapes, since that's one of the things that reminds me of his style, but as soon as I started putting the brush down, I just like went into making a flower pot, and I know like he made one too, but at the time I didn't realize it. So yeah, I'm making a flower pot with flowers. The pot is going to be like really lumpy, and the flowers are going to be like going in all these weird directions. I forgot to transfer the video files to my computer, so when I started editing, I edited everything off of my SD card, which is kind of annoying because I wanted to use it for other stuff. I did try to look for another SD card in my camera bag, but instead I found my painter's tape in there, and my other SD card was actually my other camera. While I was recording this, I find it really hard to match the color settings to the color of the paintings. So it starts off as blue, then it gets really warm, then it gets cooler, then later on in the video I turn off one of the lights. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna be able to figure that out while editing. I tried using the color editor before, and I'm just not that good with it, so wish me luck. I've continued to play Minecraft with my cousin, and the most surprising thing to me is that we've kept playing on the same world for the past month or two. I feel like the rest of this video is going to be me explaining the lore behind that world, so I hope you're comfortable. I know he's going to be watching this video, so I'm sure the comment section will be quite interesting. Historically, the world has been hostile thanks to my cousin. It started off smoothly. His main goal has been to fight the Ender Dragon, but along the way, I've seen him steal my stuff, have creepers blow up near my house, kill my cows, try to burn down my house, demand a potato tax every 20 minutes. From there, I was like, ugh. And then one day, he took a TNT block and blew up my house. From there, I took the life of a nomad and moved like thousands of blocks away, trying to start a new life away from his madness. But after a few days of playing, I just decided to hop back. Go back, hoping that things would change. Things did start to boil down, and we worked on some larger projects, like a villager breeder so we can make an iron farm. But after a while, he did start reverting back to his old ways. They weren't overt things, but I was definitely noticing a change in his attitude. One day, he invited the older brother to one of his friends, and I'll be referring to this day as Day 1. On day 1, I'm going to be calling him MG. MG joined the world, and we showed him around. I don't remember exactly what happened, but he could tell things were just kind of starting to get chaotic, so he chose to make his house like some distance away from where me and my cousin were living. It didn't really help him much, but I'll get into that later. I started working on what is at the time my 4th base, and MG was making his little chateau. I was surprised that he's a good builder. Me and my cousin took a look at it, and since my cousin pretty destroyed my house, I kind of just joked around saying like, oh, your place might be in danger, someone might blow it up soon. But yeah, day 1 wasn't too eventful. Day 2 comes around, my cousin has like mad cow disease or something, but he starts going off. I think that day or the day before, he was asking me how to get mob skulls, so I started to explain it to him. Later on, when I'm working in my enchantment room, he comes by, and I saw he had my wither skull, but it just didn't readily register at the time, so I just let it slide by. But then later, when I do realize it, I ask it back, but he's like, no, he's just refusing to give it back, even though I'm reminding him that it's mine. And then he starts trying to kill me, so I fled to MG's house since I feel like it'd be a safer place, but I honestly didn't know what was going to happen. So I go in there, and MG is surprised to see me, but I put my shield up the entire time. My cousin come in sword swinging, but he soon puts his shield up. MG was actually in support of me, so I got more confident, and I started getting closer to my cousin, even though he continually swung his sword at me. And he starts to move away, And that's when we get the kill on him. I grab my wither skull and some other things as tribute. I tell him that we should have peace, not violence, since that will just lead to the downfall of the world. He agrees, and so I start gathering the materials to make a treaty, but we had to put that off since we ran out of time. If day 2 was like the assassination of the Archduke, day 3 was like the bombing of Pearl Harbor. We knew that on this day we were going to sign the treaty that would bring an end to the war that end all wars. I finished gathering everything I need to make a book and quill. I was thinking of making a little area in my base to host the signing, but MG actually ended up making a whole courthouse relatively quickly. It actually ended up being bigger than his house, which kind of was funny. So I drafted the treaty, which ended up taking like a really professional look. It outlined several things. We couldn't steal from each other, we wouldn't kill each other, we wouldn't destroy each other's buildings or commit arson. We held a meeting, the three of us made flags to represent each other, and we sat down while MG, the third party, would read the treaty out loud. My cousin was a bit reluctant at first, trying to skip parts of the book he didn't like, but in the end, he ended up signing it, and we went our separate ways. MG and I started working on our own bases, and my cousin went off to do something else, but I don't know what. Or actually, I don't exactly remember what happened like after I left the courthouse. But when I got to my place, I saw that the forest was being burnt down, and then I see my cousin counter the fire with the flint and steel in hand. He says, "Oh yeah, I don't know what happened here." I asked him to get off my property, but he refused to. Then empty-handed, I punched him out of my house, but him being the warlord that he is, he pulls out his sword and starts attacking me and kills me. I spawn back, go to him, and he proudly asks, "So are we in war?" And I just reply with, "I guess so, if that's what you want." From day 4 and onwards, I can't be too specific with certain things as the war is still ongoing, and I know my cousin watching these videos. But basically, at the start of day 4, MG and I form a team together. MG's younger brother and my cousin make their own team. Me and MG start gathering resources and important things, and then we head to foreign lands. We start making a base at our new location, and for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to be referring to me and him as the Cabin Coalition, and my cousin's team as the Savages. Well, the Savages have been privately talking among themselves, and then we get a message from them to meet up at the courthouse, but we knew it'd be a trap, so MG went by himself without any gear, said that there'd be no benefit to them killing him. I wasn't there, so I'm just retelling what happened from my end. He arrived at the courthouse, and there were these holes. I think they're trying to plant TNT. And the Savages claimed they were going to surrender, but we knew what was going to happen. My cousin, no matter what, is just hostile. He doesn't obey by the treaties. So we don't believe them, but then it happens. My cousin hits his partner, blames it on MG, and they both assassinate him. My cousin denies it, that it was him who attacked his partner, but MG recorded it and showed it to his brother. His brother felt betrayed, said he might even join our team, but he turned him down immediately. The following days have been a bit calmer, but I had to go back to the spawn to get some of my items. My cousin, for some reason, followed me, and he still had my wither skull since I forgot to take it with me, and I had some other stuff since he had died and I got it. I offered to give him his stuff back if he gave me back my wither skull, but when I go to throw out his stuff, he didn't throw out the wither skull, so I pick up his item back because he didn't obey the thing, and so that prompted him to kill me. So the war is ongoing and continuing, and to my cousin, who I know watches his videos, it's not gonna end until you're on the floor begging for mercy. Well, that's gonna wrap things up for this video. This one was kind of weird since it's supposed to be an art video, but I spent most of the time talking about Minecraft. But yeah, I really hope they get rid of that reporting system. I hate the 1.19.84 update. Anyways, I hope you have a great day. If this is your first video of mine, I promise not all my videos are like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.